you doing? Hey guys, this is Kelly and Shayna. We're here again from the
Interlight Cafe.
Interlight Cafe. That is the name of this. This is only the second video. We actually didn't make videos for a long time, but now we're actually getting into the swing of things. So I'm kind of excited about this. So what we're gonna do, and it's gonna be kind of fun. Today we're gonna talk about Reiki because she is actually a Reiki master, and I actually think that's kind of cool. So we're gonna be talking about Reiki, but with this Interlight Cafe, we're gonna talk about a lot of fun things. Mainly, we're gonna stick to like paranormal. We're gonna stick to metaphysical, and we're gonna stick to just kind of the unknown and kind of like delve into the unknown and try to help us to figure it out because we don't know either. Nobody knows. That's why it's the unknown.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. Yeah, unknown. One would probably be redheads because that's unknown.
All right.
Anyways, yes. Anyways, today's Reiki, so I'm gonna let you start because you can actually tell everybody what Reiki is. I've known you for a long time, and you've done Reiki. You've told me about Reiki, but I'm still kind of confused on Reiki. But I got some pretty cool information that I think I want to share with everybody and actually share with you that I don't know if you know.
It's probably possible.
Yeah.
That I don't know. So I've been a Reiki master for, actually, now thinking about it, it's going on almost 10, it's over 10 years.
Wow.
Over 10 years. So I've been a Reiki master. I've had my own wellness center. A lot of the stuff that I did, though, I traveled. A lot of times people would get my name and number and then call me, and I would go to surrounding states and visit people. And
that's awesome. So you actually
Reiki.
went to other states.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I've gone to other states. My Reiki style is a little different. I come from a background of like social work and emotional and mental health. So one of the things that really helps the Reiki to work is when I have a whole conversation with somebody prior to the session. And then we dive into the session and it's just incredibly relaxing and freeing and nurturing, I think is a good word for it. One of the reasons why I think that a lot of people have called me is because, number one, Reiki has had a really good success with people with some definite chronic illnesses. A lot of the people that would come to our wellness center, where I had staff and things like that, but were people who had chronic illness and had some really good results with the Reiki. But also, here you go. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
9 times out of 10, people have a very spiritual experience on the table. 9 times out of 10, I will have people who tell me that they had a whole conversation with a passed away relative, or sometimes the relative will sneak in and have a conversation with them. And then I've had one lady who was coming out of kind of like, it's like a Reiki trance kind of thing. She like grabbed my hand and she's like, I talked to Jesus. I was like, well, I don't have a beard.
Did he speak English? Did he speak English?
Apparently.
Okay.
But yeah,
cool.
So
Cool.
Anyway, I'm just saying that sometimes there's that, but I think that that's because my specialty, there's a lot of people out there who do Reiki and they have all different types of specialties, right? And I had a really good staff member that used to be a nurse. So she was great with like physical ailments, pain, things like that. I have other people who are strictly really good at going into houses and doing paranormal type investigations, things like that.
Okay.
I have one friend who is very much into like plants and working with plants and agriculture and things like that. And then I have another friend who strictly works on animals. So
they did Reiki on the animals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Actually, thoroughbred horses,
really?
like race horses.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, anything to get them going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you want to win that money. So.
But anyway, so Reiki is basically getting you into a meditative state and relaxing the body, head all the way to toe. And so it's a series of motions and positions that are like chakra points, but also pressure points. Anyway, energy points. And it just goes down through your body, and then you kind of release some of that energy, and then we fill you back up again. And so it's basically just a cleansing of your energy. So
okay, is that how it's supposed to work? It cleanses the energy inside of you, or what? Like, this is where I get confused. I know what it is, the physical part of it, because you've done it. You know, it's more like meditation for me or whatever. But what does the Reiki practitioner or the Reiki master, what do they say is happening?
Well, here's the really cool thing about Reiki is the fact that it's not up to me.
No, I know.
Yeah,
okay.
So I'm the vessel. So I can go in, I can talk to people about what might be ailing them or things like that. I kind of do it just in the beginning to make sure that, like, number one, diabetics, I have to be concerned about sugar levels, things like that. If there's a heart condition, sometimes energy exchange, relaxation, things like that can affect different types of heart conditions.
How does it affect the diabetes? I'm diabetic, so I'm just wondering how that would increase the blood
because
sugar.
It can either increase the blood sugar or decrease the blood sugar on the table. So it
I know
just
if you're
rearranges.
Sick, your blood sugar will go up.
Mm-hmm.
So mine goes up maybe 20, 30 points when I'm sick. But okay.
Like, so if somebody was coming to my session, I would always ask them, what are your sugar levels before I start? Because I'll either get you really relaxed or sometimes really, really hyped up. And it's all going to depend on what your body is needing. Okay. So, like, a perfect example, I had one of my customers had surgery on her knee.
Okay.
And I was doing Reiki, and I was around her knee area, and my hands were on fire, like super hot. She reported that it felt like I had ice on her knee.
Interesting.
So, just because I'm feeling something, I'm feeling the energy moving, but she's actually receiving what she needs.
So that's kind of interesting that you're talking about. I read a study today from, I think it was Doug McManus. Doug McManus in 2017. Anyways, they explained a couple of the like, not how it worked, but some of the experiences that people had, and it was like the hands were heating up. They didn't say that the person laying down, felt ice, but like the hands, they would feel. A lot of people will feel warmth from the hands, like. And I'm not talking about just because the hand's on there and it's warm, but I'm talking about like almost like you put some icy hot. You know what I mean? Like it was hot.
Yeah.
It was hot. So.
And that's all depending on what you need. So like if you have, let's say your muscles are all cramped up and tight, and you need that heat to help release it, that's what's going to happen. But here's the thing. So Reiki is Japanese for universal life energy or life force.
Okay.
It doesn't have a religious connotation to it. People think that it does, but it doesn't. You can take it to that place. So like, let's say if you are a spiritual person or you believe in a certain type of religion, if you want to get into a meditative state, I always invite people to have that in their head, if they would choose to, if that helps them to relax and get to a place of relaxation.
So I'm going to stop for a second. So the lady that saw Jesus, she was obviously probably a Christian, right? Okay, and that makes sense. If somebody has a different religion, they're going to see who they, okay.
Right.
All right, interesting. Yeah.
I mean, I've never had anybody come out and say, I saw Buddha, or so I haven't experienced that personally. I'm sure there's other people out there who might have experienced that, and if that's what you've experienced, that's fine. but just in my realm of how many people I have done Reiki on.
During Reiki, is there any, what would you say, like side effects? Can there be side effects from Reiki? I did read some that there can be, like, some people, or have you experienced anybody with side effects?
Yes, I have
Okay.
experienced people with side effects. I happened to do Reiki on a gentleman that couldn't smell,
Okay.
like for almost his whole life. He had no
Okay.
sense of smell. What really stunk about that, though, stunk,
Yeah.
was the fact that he actually owned a restaurant.
Oh, Jesus, okay.
Yeah, so he
All right, wow.
didn't have a sense of smell. So anyway, we did Reiki, and I think it was his second time or something. I was around his face and head. I put my hands like here, like around his face and head. While I was right here, I heard like a nice big pop.
Okay.
There was like a pop, right? And
Hi, Stevie.
Stevie's coming in. All right. There was a nice big pop, right? And so but I always tell everybody you have to drink your water right after, because of the fact that the body is going to cleanse, right? It's going to release toxins, release things that's no longer serving it. Especially if you think about it scientifically, if somebody has high levels of cortisol and you are releasing that stress, that cortisol has to get out of that body, right? So anyway, he left, he went home, and his wife reported to me that he threw up in his sink and yelled my name, Shayna, as he puked into the sink. However, at the next day, he realized he could smell again.
Weird.
So, but what I'm saying is we call that a healing crisis.
Okay.
So, just like anytime you do a detox of any type, like if you're drinking a lot of water and you're getting a bunch of different types of toxins out of your body and you're trying to flush that, it can give you flu-like symptoms, like
okay,
like
no, I'm gonna stop
feeling
you
like
for a second.
cold or feeling like a body ache.
Hang on, I'm stopping you, because that is exactly what I was looking for. So, like, in the study that I read, a lot of people, their side effects were flu-like symptoms. And I was waiting for you to say flu-like symptoms, because that's exactly what a lot of people experienced before they got better.
And we call that a healing crisis. So
right.
Like,
no, I understand.
But I've
that.
also had Reiki where people blame the Reiki. People who were not feeling well for quite a while, and I do Reiki. Sometimes those ailments or issues with illness actually will come to the surface. So maybe you have a kidney infection, you haven't been feeling well for a while, and we do Reiki. Now it's accelerated the healing, but in order to accelerate the healing, it has to surface so you can identify it. Okay. And then maybe get placed on the medicine in order to then flush it out.
Okay, so I'm going to change a little bit of the topic right now. So, and I think that's awesome. Now, your belief, and I know your belief in how Reiki works and everything. What would you say to somebody that was getting Reiki, but, you know, they're like, well, all this hoodoo voodoo BS is going to whatever. Would they still get benefits from it?
I think that Reiki is very beneficial, just in the fact that it's, like I said, it's very nurturing.
No, I get it.
So it's very nurturing and relaxing, where somebody's really close, kind of. When I do Reiki on you, like, I'm close to your head. I'm like right here, you know, and we're breathing together a lot of times, and, you know, you're relaxed. It's very nurturing, very warm and fuzzy. Now, if you go to somebody and you're like, and this happens too, because I always have to have my conversations with people before we start, because what I'm doing is just feeling people out where they're at on, like, what is your belief? Why are you here? Well, let's say you are in stage 4 cancer. You've come to me and you expect me to be either heal you, but in the back of your head, it's not going to heal me. Okay. This lady's not going to do anything for me.
Okay, so That kind of gets into the study that I was talking about. So, what they did, what McManus did is, I mean, he has a lot of people that are cited that are practitioners and whatever. But he did a study. He took 3 groups of 20 people, and he was looking for the placebo effect, because a lot of people think that it's placebo, and placebo is not a bad effect. If you think something's going to heal you, then you're going to have more of an effect of that healing you than not healing you. So, hang on. Let me do a little bit of talking here. So, anyways, what he did, he had 3 groups of 20 people that were getting Reiki, and with their ailments. And so what happened was, one group, there was like, out of the 20 people, I think there was like 13 people that had really beneficial, like it benefited them. I think it was 13 people that really benefited them, and it was 3 people that didn't benefit them. Like it was just, it was a good thing, but it didn't heal, but it was a good thing, like a good additive.
Yeah.
And then they had a couple people that didn't work at all. But the thing is so then they did a placebo. So then they took the study and they compared it to the placebo effect. And so when you compare it to the placebo effect, Reiki actually did a little bit better than people just getting a placebo effect. So if you take medication so what happens if you give 100 people medication, the same medication, you're doing a trial, and you give 50 of them the placebo medication, you give 50 of them, non-placebo, the real medicine. Some of the people that are getting the real medicine still aren't going to get the benefit of the real medicine, because the medicine doesn't work in everybody. Some people that are getting the fake medicine, they're still going to benefit because they think it's going to work, so it still works. So that's the placebo effect, and the placebo effect does work. And so with that aspect, one thing with Reiki that they did find, and what I think is really cool. So, and this is what I compare it to, because you know me, I have a little bit of skepticism in me, even in the paranormal when I do investigations. I believe that spirits and ghosts, whatever, but 90% of the stuff that happens, this is Stevie, by the way.
Yes,
I think it's
Stevie,
fake.
who's going crazy.
So, anyways, the study in what was that? Let me look. In the IJHC, the International Journal of Healing and Caring, which is kind of a cool, and I remember when I was in college using that journal as a reference. But anyways, in that journal, they actually talked about what Reiki really does help with is the majority of the people that it helps with are people for pain management and to reduce the stress, the cortisol level. Well, if you think about it, if you're going to reduce the stress, you're going to heal a lot of ailments that you have. When I'm stressed, my diabetes is out of control. When I am relaxed and when I'm doing good, even if I'm eating the same stuff, my diabetes is better. And that's like that with a lot of things. It's like it with pain. It's like it. So they use it for cancer patients, which you said you used it for cancer patients. So in the pain, of my clients, yeah. So right, and so the pain management in the cancer patients, Reiki was a good additive with their medication. You know what I mean? Like it was great. So in that aspect, I think Reiki is awesome. You've done Reiki on me, and I know after you've done it for 3-4 days after it, I am a lot. I'm a tense person, but after you do, right, I'm just a little tense. So anybody that works with me, they know that I could be a tense person once in a while. So anyways, after you do it, my stress is minimized a lot. So, and I feel better, I feel great, and if I had cancer, I'm sure that would definitely help with the pain of that. So I have a friend that actually has had leukemia twice, and he believes in Reiki 100%. Even he knows Reiki. He's not a Reiki master, but he knows a little bit about Reiki and how to do Reiki. And it was kind of funny when you said doing it on your dog. He actually does it on his dogs. Mm-hmm. So when we went to coffee about a month ago, he was like, we were talking about you and the Reiki, and he goes, "Yeah, I do Reiki on my dogs every night." when I'm sitting on the chair, they're laying on my lap. I'm actually doing Reiki on them, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. And his dogs, I know all of his dogs are very healthy, very energetic.
Yep.
So, yeah, I actually think that's kind of cool. So, what is the craziest experience you've ever had with Reiki? With somebody that, and let me ask you this: I'm sure you've had Reiki before.
Yes.
You've had to have Reiki if you're.
I have had Reiki before. That was kind of one of the requirements. Like whenever I would hire a staff member, that would do Reiki and things like that, was they had to do Reiki on me.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a requirement. Mostly though, because I'm trying to pay attention. Not everybody can do Reiki. I'm not anything super special.
Mm-hmm.
I think the reason why I have seen over 280 clients.
Nice.
And that's not each individual, like most of them have more than one visit, but
Right.
280 clients under my belt. But them doing Reiki on me was not me testing to see if I feel anything or anything like that. It's just as a business owner, and if I have a wellness center,
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that they're practicing Reiki appropriately, right? That they're putting their hands appropriately, that they are moving and doing different things. Not necessarily their methods as much as I want to make sure that they are doing everything certification worthy before I would hire them.
Before you even thought about, I'm going to be a Reiki master, did you ever go to anybody for Reiki?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
When you've had Reiki done on you, what before you were a master or anything, what is the biggest experience you've had?
When Reiki was done on me?
Yeah.
So I had a disability, right? Like I have a disability, and I had some issues with traumatic brain injury, and my eyes were affected really bad. My eyes were affected really bad. They still are, actually. But when I was going through that, and I was really like in the depths of having the issues going on with my eyes, I had a friend who did Reiki on me, and she did Reiki on my eyes, and she would hold her hands over my eyes, and that was the only relief that I felt ever. With her doing the Reiki over my eyes. So they gave me pain pills, they gave me anti-nausea, they gave me anti-vertigo stuff, they gave me everything. When she was over my eyes and in my ears, I had a hard time walking for a while, right? And it was because I had serious vertigo. I would fall, I would be walking down a hall and just kind of that was the only relief that I experienced. Was when she was Reikiing me. So then after that happened, I was like, there's definitely something to this, and I have to find out and learn.
No, that's awesome. I gotta tell you about another study. I can't, I'm not going to be able to cite the study right now. I'll have to look it up.
Let me tell you about some fun things that I've had. But anyway.
Oh, you got more. Okay. Usually I'm the one that likes to talk.
No, you said Reiki done to me, but then you were asking me what kinds of things have happened from my sessions. There's a lot of weird stuff that happens when I've done Reiki. Lots of weird stuff.
Cool, we got 3 minutes left.
Oh, okay. You want another study? Go ahead.
No, okay. I think this study is actually pretty cool. So there's a lot of guys out there that have sexual not function, right? Because of whatever reason. So, but actually, I read the study that in a large percentage of the men, I think it was 60% of the men that actually had Reiki continuously for I think it was a couple months, their thing started to work and work better than ever. Now, me being this not skeptic in it, but looking at a lot of male dysfunction is because of stress. And if Reiki's going to help with stress,
well, think about it, and circulation.
Yeah. Well, right, but circulation has more to do with the heart. Now, like, it might help.
But
with that.
what makes the heart beat? Electrical, energetic synapses.
Right,
Little shocks
right.
is what makes your heart ka-conk.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
I'm just saying that Reiki was like zapping.
I just wanted to make sure I got that study in there because, like, if there's guys watching this and they're having a problem in that area, hey, try some Reiki. The first time I ever got Reiki was amazing, but we won't go there. That worked.
Well, that wasn't
What?
exactly Reiki.
It was. That's what you said it was.
Well, starting off, it was Reiki.
Anyways,
but I'm in love with him. Like, I'm in love with him. That's not a normal thing for clients. I'm just saying. That's not something that I would do with clients.
oh, get a good tip. I'm just saying. But anyways.
Anyway.
So we got a couple more minutes. We have one more minute.
Okay, well, let me just tell you a really cool experience.
Okay.
I had a lady come in and she had MS. Really bad.
I'll put some music on while you're talking. Go ahead. She had MS.
She had MS really bad, and her feet were all gnarled, and her face was all droopy, and you could tell that the MS was just kind of taking over her body. And we did Reiki.
30 seconds.
We did Reiki, and then she looked completely different.
Awesome.
I didn't even recognize her. She looked like a different person. She didn't recognize herself either.
So that's our session on Reiki. So
Okay.
that was actually kind of fun. Our next one, I'm not sure what we're going to do. Maybe Bigfoot. I like Bigfoot. I'm a huge Bigfoot fan. But anyways, Inner Light Cafe.